Start the recording, please.
Thanks, I wish I could.
I'm Blackthorn, a member of the League of Women Voters of Brown County, and we're here tonight for the Brown County Surveyor Candidates Forum. Just some ground rules as we get started. The league is nonpartisan, which means we don't support or oppose individual candidates or political parties. We want to give voters a chance to know what candidates stand for and encourage people to vote. Our democracy depends on citizen involvement. Before we start tonight, we want to thank the candidates who took their time to be here, all of you for being here, and a special thank you to the Farm Bureau for providing our amazing refreshments. We may have others joining us as we go through tonight, so we'll hope that they can take part in that as well. We do invite your questions, so if you have questions for the candidates, please submit them in writing in an index card like this. There'll be people around to pick those up from you and bring them up front. And we're gonna allow for about an hour for the forum. We'll ask the candidates and the audience to stick to the issues relevant to the surveyor's role. And we want to definitely encourage thoughtful conversation and avoid any personal attacks. The format tonight, each candidate will have 2 minutes for opening statements, followed by 90 seconds when it's time to respond to questions. Unless there's some kind of change, we'll allow 2 minutes for closing statements at the end of the evening. Pam Rader, the Secretary of the League of Women Voters, Brown County, will be our timekeeper. When you have 10 seconds remaining, Pam will hold up the yellow card. And when your time is up, Pam will hold up the red card. Please finish.
But you can finish the sentence.
Yeah. Go ahead and finish your sentence and we'll wrap it up. We'll ask that during introductions and questions that we hold all applause until the forum is concluded. So right now we're going to start with a round of applause for the candidates here for Brown County Surveyor and all of those people here that are putting together this event for you. And I'll introduce the other moderator today, Rita Simons. And I'm going to turn over to you, Rita.
Okay, can you hear me well? Okay. We will begin with opening statements by the candidates for Brown County Surveyor in alphabetical order, since there's only 2. The order of speaking will rotate during the evening. Candidates will have 2 minutes each for opening remarks. Candidate Allen, will you please start with your opening remarks?
All right, I want to thank you for having this tonight. It's kind of different. I've never done this before, so it's the first time, but I'll just give a little bit about myself. My past, been a lifelong resident of Brown County. Parents were Tom and Susan Allen. They were functioning here in the community. They were here on the planning commission. My mom was, and dad was on the fair board, but attended Brown County schools, graduated, went to Purdue University. There I obtained a bachelor's in civil engineering and land surveying. While at Purdue, I also took my surveyor in training and the engineer in training exams and passed those. But during most of my junior high school, and college, I had my own small business, since that's where I am now, self-employed again. My brother, sister, and I ran a small lawn company. So, but unfortunately, when I graduated in 2007, started full time, had to close the business down. So, so after that, I went and worked for Orton Johnson at Columbus Surveying Engineering from 2007 until, from 2002 until he retired in 2007, and then started working with independent land surveying. I also, in 2007 when he retired, I started independent, and then I got married. So it's kind of busy here that year. I worked with Mark Isaacs at ILS until 2021. After my dad's passing, I started my own business, and I'm my own now. But throughout my career, I've worked in many counties around, and so I've been surveying for about 22 and a half years here, and I enjoy it. It's fun. So.
Thank you. Candidate Harden, would you begin with your opening statement?
I'm also a lifelong person. I had a stroke in last year, so I'm a little bit off on my speaking, but I've been here all my life and started surveying for my dad. He was an engineer in 1967, and he started Acon Engineers. And then in 1983, I started working with Bob Allen, which he was a county surveyor at that time. And then in 1992, I went in business with John Rudd. He was then county surveyor then, and he passed away in 2007, and I was appointed county surveyor in March of 2007, and been doing it ever since. That's my.
Okay, we'll turn it back to Kathy.
So for the candidate questions, just a reminder, we're gonna swap back and forth between the two of you. You'll have 90 seconds to respond. Pam will take care of the beautiful cards over there. So, and we'll read the questions and then read them again for the next person.
Sure.
Just because time passes, and so it's good to have them reread for you. So we'll start with you, David. The first question, it's coming from a Brown County High School Teacher of the Year, Emily Lewellen. Why do you want to be the surveyor for Brown County?
Just to help people, like, just to actually, my knowledge from many years of surveying here in Brown County, I got a lot of information in my files and just help people.
Thank you. So Tim, the question for you, I'll just repeat it. Why do you want to be the surveyor for Brown County?
I've thought about running for back when I first graduated. However, just didn't seem like time. My folks kept saying I should do it. I was like, nah, I'll just wait. Well, I'm 45, 40, I don't know where I am anymore, but it's time. Getting older. So I was like, I want to try to, do this. I've worked in many different, counties or across the country, across the state, probably about half the counties I've surveyed in, not a little bit more. But I've been in those. I want to take what I've learned from those different, surveyor offices and just kind of incorporate into what we have here.
Okay, the next question is from, again, from one of the students of Ms. Lewellen from Brown County High School. What is the underlying importance of this job for you? And we'll start with Mr. Allen.
I would say the most important aspects to the county surveyor are the keeping of the legal records and the legal survey, records of the legal surveys, and then also section corner perpetuation. The GIS department is also important in helping deliver those materials to the public, but I'd say primarily the most important aspects are for the legal surveys and section corner perpetuation.
Mr. Harden, would you like to respond to what's the underlying importance of this job for you?
The information, all the information you can give other surveyors and property owners, it's the main thing is that's the information that we can provide is good for everybody.
Thank you.
Our next question is one from the audience here tonight. We'll direct it first to Mr. Harden. Planning and zoning is talking about developing a new comprehensive plan. What are your thoughts about that and how would your office be involved?
Well, I'm on the planning commission, so I'm in the process of helping them doing the planning permits, the comprehensive and just I try to help all I can and know pretty much from the county that what we need and what's needed in the next 10, 20 years.
Thank you. And the same question for you, Mr. Allen. Planning and zoning is talking about developing a new comprehensive plan. What are your thoughts about that, and how would your office be involved?
I think it's a good thing to go through and do a new comprehensive plan on a, regular basis to keep it, everything, times change, ideas change. However, we don't want to lose sight of where we've come from. And so I know that's a big thing for the county. So I know that I haven't looked into this aspect, so because I've not been in this position, but I do see it as a very important part for the county and in order to guide it in the right direction for the citizens of it.
This is a question from the audience. Can you explain what responsibility the county surveyor has over drainage for the town and county?
Is that for me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it is, the requirements for the county surveyor are laid out in the IAC Rule 12 for county surveyors. And from my understandings for the county surveyor, when it comes to drainage, they are a non-voting participant of the drainage board. And so they don't take control of everything. However, generally the county surveyor's office has the drainage office in them as well. But that's just they're under a different set of laws for the drainage. And so just depends on how the county wants to structure everything, but being that Brown County is very hilly, there's really not much need for legal drains or anything, and that's what they're primarily dealing with. Now, they may have the county surveyor review drainage reports and such, but at that point, it's just a different area of expertise.
Mr. Harden, the same question. Can you explain what responsibility the county surveyor has over drainage for the town and county?
Yes, we don't have any legal drains, as Tim mentioned, but every so often, the commissioners has a problem with drainage, and I help them work through that, and planning commission and the health department asked me numerous times to go out and shoot an elevation to find out where the floodplain is, so whether they can have septics in it or houses in it or whatever, but we have no legal drain as such, but the commissioners and the surveyor's office handles the information through it.
Thank you.
So we'll start with Mr. Harden for this question from the audience. What can a licensed surveyor do that an unlicensed acting as a surveyor cannot do?
Well, I have a surveyor, licensed surveyor on my staff. And when, county surveyor's office really is not out there doing a bunch of surveys or anything. It's very, very rare that a county surveyor does a survey for the county. But when they do have a survey to come up, I've always paid for it out of my pocket for having a surveyor to oversee it.
Thank you. The same question for you, Mr. Allen. What can a licensed surveyor do that an unlicensed acting as a surveyor cannot do?
When we're talking in respect to the county surveyor, the unlicensed county surveyor can basically do everything that a licensed surveyor can do. They can create their own seal as per Rule 12 allows, that you are able to procure your own seal to stamp everything with that. So they can create their own, it says Brown County Surveyor, and just put their name, and that's what they utilize to stamp stuff. So there's not much difference between the two.
The next question is also from the audience. What training classes have you had? What licenses do you hold? And that would be Mr. Allen first.
All right, the license I hold a professional land surveyor's license, and then I've got my engineering training. So I just need to take the exam to be a licensed civil engineer. But And then my classes, I take, either between 12 and 15 continuing education hours every year. Oh, and then I do have a notary license as well, but you have to take continuing education for that as well. So every year I'm taking continuing education to keep you have to have 24 continuing ed every 2 years to keep the surveyor's license.
Mr. Harden, the same question for you. What training classes have you had? What licenses do you hold?
I have numerous service, classes over the years, but I am not a licensed surveyor. And it doesn't have to be a licensed surveyor to hold this office.
Thank you.
We'll start with Mr. Harden with this next question from the students. How are you going to leave an impact on this county? Or maybe in your case, how have you left an impact on this county?
I know everybody, so just from being here so many years, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, how would you like to leave an impact on the county?
I guess any impact somebody leaves, they want to be positive. So hopefully whatever impact I do leaves a positive. I've always been part of 4-H. I've, volunteered down there quite a bit. I think it started with my dad forcing me into doing stuff when I was younger, but I do enjoy that. But no, the impact on I just want to be able to be one that's when somebody sees you, they're happy.
Yeah.
That's the impact you want to see. But whatever I do from an office standpoint, I want it to be something that's respectable and there's never doubt that you can be trusted. That's the very important part.
Thank you.
Next question. And this will be for Mr. Allen first. What is or should be the role of the county surveyor with the county commissioners, the county council, and planning commission regarding building construction, expansion, and renovation?
That's something I've never thought about. Building construction, I don't think the county surveyors really has much to do with that. That would be in the code enforcement, building department, they'd be checking that. You hire maybe just a local surveyor to do site plans to make sure your buildings are meeting the setbacks and such, but that would be regulated by code enforcement. So I don't see there being much for the county surveyor in that aspect per se. But like I said, I've not studied that or thought about that before.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Hardy.
What's the question?
Oh. Okay, that was a long question. What is or should be the role of the county surveyor with the county commissioners, county council, and plan commission regarding building construction, expansion, and renovation?
But the only thing that county surveyor does in building construction is just when the plan commission needs an elevation, make sure floodplain. Otherwise, we don't do a lot. Otherwise.
Okay, thank you.
And this next question, starting with Mr. Harden, discuss why you're suited to this office and what your goals are for the coming term.
Just my goal is to improve the office as much as I can and still get information to the public. And I hope to keep on doing that.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, why are you suited to this office and what are your goals for the coming term?
Why I was suited, I've been, surveying for several years, and so it's my profession, so it kind of falls in that alley, so pretty clear on that one. But goals, I see other counties around, and I I know Brown County didn't have funds as Bartholomew County does. So, but I'd like to do some modeling of some of the information, you know, the way they present things as they do there. But like I said, we don't have the funds as they do, because they've got a huge survey team, they've got everything over there. So, but the county surveyors also I deal with. I got some ideas I'd like to see, make things more easily accessible online and such. That's one of the big things I'd like to see.
Thank you.
Okay, the next question. Does the county surveyor have a role for the town and our county to improve drainage issues, to address flooding issues or sewer issues? And that question will be for Mr. Harden first.
Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Allen.
You know, when it comes to flooding, it becomes more of a FEMA issue than it does, you know, the county surveyor's office. I mean, everybody comes to the county surveyor first, of course. You know, they start the first processing, they always go to the county surveyor and go that route, but their role is very minimal, I would say. Now, when it comes to sewers, that's more the sewer utility board. Now, they may do, if it's a city-owned municipality, then there's a good chance the county surveyor may be involved in doing some, you know, preliminary sewer work or something to get some elevations, but most likely any sewer improvements, those plans are gonna be paired through a larger survey firm that does municipal style work.
Okay, Mr. Harden. You remember the question? Does the county surveyor have a role for the town and or county to improve drainage issues, to address flooding issues or sewer issues?
Actually, county surveyor office doesn't have a role into that. Only thing the county surveyor could do is help people delineate the floodplains, but otherwise FEMA and drainage, other boards, sewer boards handle all of that stuff. A major engineering firm would more likely take all that.
Thank you.
Next question for the audience, and I'll pause here to say if the audience has any more questions, certainly still have cards available and time available for you to submit those questions. So Mr. Harden, the next question is, what could be done to make the information more accessible online?
We're trying all the time. Every day we try to get more information online, and we're just working at it constantly, trying to get good information and much as we possibly can get online. There's other stuff we can do, but we're working towards it.
And Mr. Allen, same question for you. Can you elaborate what could be done to make the information more accessible online?
A couple of things that I would like to think that we could get the annual surveys and the miscellaneous surveys that there are on easily accessible online. It'd take time to scan them, so that is time. And then make sure we get all the old survey tie cards on there. Another thing is that ISPLS, they paid several thousands of dollars to have the federal survey notes at the Library of Congress scanned. We could get a link on the webpage, so easier access is a direct link to those instead of having to go through and sort out. If we could get some links on the webpage for us. Just a few things.
Thank you.
The next question will be for Mr. Allen first. What metrics do you use to measure success as a surveyor?
That's a tough call. I guess not being in court. That's a good way to go. But I guess that's the only one I can think of. I mean, as long as you,
Happy client.
yeah, happy clients and not in court and, you know, getting problem solved. That's pretty much all surveyors do is solve problems. That's every day. But that's, as long as you get the problem solved, that's what you're going for.
Okay, Mr. Harden, the same question. What metrics do you use to measure your success as surveyor?
Tim is totally right, there's happy client and out of court, stay out of court. And we do a pretty good job at that.
Thank you.
Next question from the audience. What role, if any, does the surveyor's office have in land requirements for approving sewers?
We have no requirement in that, doing that. Only thing we can do in sewers is, like I said before, was make sure it's not a floodplain. That's pretty much all we do is sewers.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, what role, if any, does the surveyor's office have in the land requirements for approving sewers?
I would say that in all the municipalities I've worked in, that the county surveyor has basically no part in that. It's always falls within the health department and within the planning department as whether or not they have viable septic sites. And so I know that many planning departments will have their one regulation while the health department has another. And so it's always a fight with the owners not wanting to pay for extra soil borings and whatnot, but that's neither here nor there. But so the county surveyor basically has no spot with that.
Thank you.
This is a question from the audience. Can you explain what legal drains a surveyor might be involved in?
If we had flat ground where we didn't have any outlets, then we would have some legal drains. I've spent 20 years surveying Bartholomew County. Bartholomew County's flat. There's lots of rivers around, so they'll either cut an open ditch and that'll be the legal drain, or there'll be a buried legal drain. And so I just did a survey not too long ago along a legal drain. They used it for the middle of it, but Brown County doesn't have any spots where it's flat enough to need a legal drain. And usually they serve, it'll serve hundreds and hundreds of acres. And the flat areas we have is only 50, 100 acres at most usually. So there's no need for a legal drain here.
Thank you. Mr. Harden, same question. Can you explain what are legal drains a surveyor might be involved in?
Seeing as how we have none in Brown County, so a surveyor wouldn't be involved at all. It's just, like Tim said, it's just for flat ground, trying to get water from one place to another. We don't have those here in Brown County. It easily gets going down stream.
Thank you.
Mr. Harden, what is the process for certifying land surveys in the county and what costs are involved?
In the surveyor's office, none. That's private surveying. The county surveyor does not do surveying for private people as such.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, do you want to take that question as well?
Sure.
Do you need me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. What is the process for certifying land surveys for the county? What costs are involved?
Yeah. Basically the county surveyor is not doing land surveys in the county. So the only surveys that the county surveyor is really gonna see are legal surveys coming into the office to be reported. And that's, I don't know if the county surveyor has any fees they charge for those, but the county surveyor themselves not gonna be charging for these surveys, because it's not something they do.
Thank you.
The next question is from the audience, and Mr. Allen, you will respond first. What are the differences between you and your opponent that we should consider when we vote?
But he has been surveying for several years. He worked for John Rudd, so he's been surveying for a long time. He's got experience, and so I went to college, I've surveyed, and so it's a fine line. So I don't know. It's a tough call.
Mr. Harden, the same question. What are the differences between you and your opponent that we should consider when we vote?
As such as for the county surveyor's office, none. It's just you're bound by what the law requires, and both of you have to do the same thing.
Thank you.
Question from the audience. What status would you say that our present cornerstones or markers are in? And what plans would you put in place to help these?
They're pretty good. We just downloaded 1,500 corners that are not on the map yet, but we're getting there.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. I'll repeat the question. What status would you say that our present cornerstones or markers are in? And what plans would you put in place to help these?
I don't know the exact status of it, so I can't comment exactly on that. But I know that we're supposed to be, per the Rule 12, we're supposed to be doing, 5% section 4 perpetuation. That's every section should have at half miles and mile markers. So I think it comes down to about around 50 a year are supposed to be perpetuated. So,
Thank you.
The next question is from the audience, and Mr. Allen will respond first. Comparing the method of surveying in the early 1900s to now, large parcels can be inaccurate. How is that corrected with the county records?
the only way that's corrected with the county records would be through a private survey being completed on that property. Otherwise, the acreage is gonna remain unchanged. There has to be a full survey done on that property to get a correct acreage on it. So other than that, it's gonna remain, it may be an underage or an overage, so somebody may be paying less on taxes than they should be, or they may be paying more than they should. So until that individual pays to have a survey, you're not gonna know.
So you're saying it's an individual responsibility?
That is correct.
Thank you. Mr. Harden, the same question. Comparing the method of surveying in the early 1900s to now, large parcels can be inaccurate. How is that corrected with the county records?
Only what, just like Tim said, the only way to correct it is through a survey by a private surveyor form. Can't do anything else otherwise.
Thank you.
At this time, we have no further questions from the audience. So I know we're a little ahead of schedule, but I'm gonna go ahead and allow you to go get started on your closing statements. So we'll take just a moment here. You have 2 minutes to offer your closing statements and the final remarks for the voters. Maybe something that hasn't been addressed or something that you haven't had a question about. And then we will do those in opposite order of how you did your introductions. So we'll start with Mr. Harden.
Don't have a whole lot to say, I just try to do my best job and, make information available to the public, and that's pretty much all there is in Surveyor's office is information.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Your closing statements?
Not really much to say there, but, yeah. I'm just running for county surveyor, just something I was wanting to do, and I've held off quite a while, and so now it just feels time, so that's why I'm up here running after so many years, sitting back and just watching everything go, so just finally have time in life and like to try it.
Thank you. I wanted to just take a time to say at this time, everyone, I'd like to do a round of applause for our candidates, for their candidates.
I never had the discipline
No.
anymore.
Thank you so much for running for county office. Your commitment makes it all work. So thank you all to the audience for your participation. And we're gonna take some time now to kind of regroup so that we can get a candidates meet and greet going. Before we do that, just a couple of things for your calendar. Excuse me. The voter turnout in Brown County last election was 44%. Please try to encourage your friends and neighbors to get out and beat that number in the 2024 elections. To learn more about your state, local, national candidates, please visit vote411.org. You just put in your address and it'll show you who's on your ballot and what their published positions are. Even if you don't need that for yourself, maybe a family member might need some help in finding information in their area. You can join us at the Brown County Library on October 24th for a debate watch. We'll show the governor's debate on live stream. We'll have some refreshments starting at 6:30 for the 7 p.m. debate. If you're unable to join the watch party, it is available on your local PBS station. Verify your voters registration for the election by October 7th. It's important to know if your registration is still active and accurate. There'll also be a test of the public voting machines, the equipment right here in this room, Friday at 1 p.m. The public is invited to be a part of that test as well. And then, of course, vote on November 5th between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. or take advantage of early voting here in the county, which starts on October 8th, not too far away. All right, so we'll go and switch to the meet and greet. I'll ask that the candidates who are here go to the podium that's kind of freestanding there so that they can make their remarks. We'll allow time, about 2 minutes for each of those remarks from the candidates that are here today. So I'll start with the candidate for U.S. Representative District 9, Russ Brooksbank.
I'll use this here because it tells me when to shut up. Thank you all for coming out to hear from the candidates, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for putting on this event. My name's Russell Brooksbank, and I'm your Libertarian candidate for Congress. Now, I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I do want to answer a question that is probably on a lot of your minds. What is a libertarian? Well, simply put, a libertarian is a person who believes that you should be able to do whatever you want as long as you're not violating somebody else's rights in the process. The Libertarian Party was founded in 1971 and has grown to become the third largest political party in the country. If you believe that you should have control over what goes into your body, then you might be a libertarian. If you believe that you should be able to keep the fruits of your labor, you might be a libertarian. If you believe that you should be able to do whatever you want with your property, you might be a libertarian. And if you want government out of your bedroom, your health care, and your pocketbook, then you might be a libertarian. I can be found on Facebook at Brooks Bank for Congress. Please don't hesitate to send me a message. I'll get right back with you with any of your questions and concerns. Also, you could go to lpin.org and to learn more about the party, what we stand for, and how you can promote liberty in your community. Thank you.
Also, we have with us tonight Brown County Commissioner for District 1, Tiffany Harden. Tiffany, you want to give us your statement?
It's Art. Tiffany Art.
Art, sorry.
That's okay. They spelt it wrong on the website too. My name's Tiffany Art and I'm running for Commissioner for District 1 on the Democratic ticket. Just a little bit about myself. I'm from Brown County. I grew up here, raised my kids here. I've been in nursing for 30 years. I possess a bachelor's degree in environmental science and policy. I have 3 classes away now from a master's degree in public administration. I'm running on a platform of trying to keep Brown County the small rural community that it is, while at the same time moving the county forward. So we would like to, myself and my fellow Democrat that's also running for commissioner in District 3, Justin, both would like to move the county forward as far as keeping the clean water and keep advancing the school system, making sure that we have the resources that we need to be able to keep the people here that graduate here, that can start families here, and at the same time being able to keep the small rural community feel that we are all used to. So if you have any questions for me, I will be here after everybody's done speaking, and I will be more than happy to talk with you. And again, my name is Tiffany Arndt, and I am running for Commissioner District 1, and it does not matter where you live in Brown County, you can vote for every commissioner seat that is open. So thank you.
Brown County Commissioner District 3, Tim Clark, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for being here. Brown County is a beautiful place to live and visit. I first started coming down here as a kid in the 60s, brought my kids down, brought my grandkids down. We've enjoyed the outdoor activities in Nashville. Retired here in 2014. I retired from federal service and military. Specialized in quality management, which is improving the efficiency and effectiveness of government. Never ending job in government. I think one of my projects, I think we saved $70 million cost avoidance, maybe prevented a couple wars. I first got involved in county government here in 2016, read an article in the paper about the issue we had on declining enrollments, available affordable housing and jobs. So I started volunteering, going to a lot of meetings, probably attended over 400 meetings over the past 7-8 years. I not only go to meetings, but I take notes, I share notes, I collect the supporting documentation, I post that at Brown County Matters, post that at Independent Voters, Brown County, Indiana, just to educate people on all things going on. And then when I started to run, people ask me, well, what's your solutions for the county? Well, it's not my solutions. What's the best solutions for the county and how do you do that? Well, three things really. Communication, define the scope and extent of the problem. Public meetings, as many as you need, and a collaborative decision-making process. And what I mean by that is there's an outline, you follow the outline. So if you want to know how a decision was made, if everybody's voice was heard or not, it's all documented and be available on the website. So that's kind of new. So really better process, better results, and you get better results, and whether we're going to make the incremental changes we need or transformational changes, I'm looking forward to doing that, and I appreciate your vote.
Brown County Commissioner District 3, Greg Taggart.
Good evening, I'm Greg Taggart, independent, running for commissioner. One thing I didn't state when we had that little debate is some more personal things. I also, not only was I born and raised here and I'm retired now, but I also worked with the boys varsity basketball team, the boys golf team, part of the ambassador program for the high school. So a lot of my passion is about opportunity and growth for our county, so that we can retain our kids who want to stay here and grow up here and raise a family just like I've done and other people in this audience have done. I love Brown County. I love our music center, and I do see that one problem we do have, a lot of times we have so many times that we have what I call paralysis analysis. We analyze everything and we don't get anything done. We can identify problems, but we never solve them. So sometimes we're just going to have to come up to bat and make a decision and go with it. Right or wrong, sometimes you have to do that. And I don't want to get stagnant like we lost on our Stellar grant. That still is going to bother me for the longest time. You know, we all want our sewers, we all want our water system here in Nashville to be fixed. We lost $12 million, folks. That just goes through me, and it was caused by one commissioner and one other person. And I'm never gonna live that down. But anyway, I would appreciate your vote. So if you can't vote straight, you gotta vote. Oh, thank you.
You can finish.
No, I'm good, but thank you very much. So, appreciate it.
And our last candidate for the meet and greet tonight, Brown County School Board at Large, Amy Oliver.
Good evening. It's nice to see all of you here tonight, so thank you for coming out and listening to everyone speak tonight. I think that's really important to show everybody's civic duty to understand what's going on in our community. My name is Amy Huffman Oliver. I am currently a school board member. I have been for the past 4 years. I was a teacher here for 5 years as a 7th grade social studies teacher. And after that, I left during COVID, and I just really I have a passion still for the teachers in our school corporation. And so I really want to make sure that we are doing everything we can for the teachers, as well as families and kids, and making sure that we are improving our school system as much as we can. A lot of that for me has involved talking to legislatures, our legislators in Indianapolis, and lobbying. A lot of you are familiar with the referendum that we have passed in May. And a lot of that takes us being able to try to get more money from the state, because a lot of money is going to other places. And the result is that less money is coming here to rural school systems. That's just an economic fact that's been happening. So we are working on that. A little bit about the races. I don't know if a lot of people even know school board is on the ticket this time. There are 2 at-large positions and there are 2 people running and we are both unopposed. That is me and Janice Bobrink. So I appreciate everybody's support. A little bit more about me. I've been here this time since 1997. And both of my kids went to Brown County High School. My mother taught at Brown County High School for 20 years. My husband was a prosecutor here. So we have really deep roots. I'm currently working as an attorney and a mediator and as a teacher at Ivy Tech Community College. So thank you all for your support.
Thank you for your time, everyone, tonight. Please stay around, have some snacks, talk to the candidates one-on-one. There's no rush to head out. Say, please, see the staff.